How do you want to live your life? What are you going to do? This is how Clivey did it. Oh, Dill, you're here. I can die now. Shocked, in complete horror, and seemingly paralytic, my brother's face was frozen in that expression. As our eyes met, we had no clue of what we were about to learn from this great man, of what his legacy and spiritual strength could become within us, helping us every heartbeat of our way if we could just adopt his same vision and learn to hold it in our soul. A stoic man is one way to describe our grandfather, who was also the happiest man that I've seen. Throughout his 92 years, Clivey took full responsibility and ownership over his wealth. If we study the origins of that word, wealthy, the derivation, we learned that it means happiness in prosperity and abundance. It means well-being across many categories of your life. Henry David Thoreau shared another insight. Wealth is the ability to fully experience life. Therein, true wealth is having whatever means most to you, making your life what you want it to be. What do you want your life to be? What predestined legacy would you like to write into history? For Clivey, that meant not wasting his life away, but rather becoming the authority over his life's direction. He took full authority over his health, his creative time freedom, and his spiritual mission. Not once did he cross the integrity of his heart or the character of his soul. Viktor Frankl described this power best. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Now at 92 years old, Clivey was at the very end of his time on this spinning rock. And yet, he was still choosing his own way. He would not spend another moment in hospital. He would not step into a retirement village, and being sedated on his way out was not the way he wanted to go. Why? Well, he had complete self-reliance over the course of his entire life. Sure, he had guidance, mentors, assistants throughout his life. However, he knew self-reliance was a core principle in every step he took forth in his life's direction. He never stepped foot into a hospital. He never took any pharmaceutical drugs, and he had zero invasive medical procedures. He was leaving this place as he came, mentally, physically, and spiritually pure, natural, and organic. How was I living my life? What was I going to do? 8 years earlier, when Clivey was 84 and I was 18, Clivey gave me a call to action like I had never heard before. He asked me that question. He invited me, and really he provoked me to work out how I was going to decide my destiny. 2 months after the most important conversation of my life, I found myself heading into an induced coma as my family were told I would not survive the night. The years that followed saw major invasive surgeries, months spent in hospitals, and an overspilling cabinet of pharmaceutical drugs that destroyed my life conditions whilst making little effect on the symptoms of my current health challenges. Clearly, I was not going to lead the life my grandfather led, or follow in the footsteps of my greatest example. However, this did not mean I could not find my way back to living a life defined on my terms. What use was I going to make of this disruption? The vision of my life, my goals, my dreams, all died with the death of my integrity of my own health. What would come through my rebirth? What will come through yours? All those years later, I saw the spirit that nothing can stop. The smile on my grandfather's face before he passed. He was coming in and out of consciousness. So one of the family members curiously asked, "What do you see, Clivey? What can you see, mate?" It was a great question. What vision was he holding in the final moments? Jesus. The remaining family members gathered around Clivey's bed now. Well, what does he look like? He's standing by the river with a boat for me. But what does he look like, Clivey? Another family member pressed. Love is what Clivey said as he smiled with his eyes closed. We don't have to be defined by what happened. We don't have to be defined by what we're told. Each one of us can be defined by the vision we hold in our mind's eye and in our heart and soul. Decide the vision of the destiny you want to unfold. How are you living your life? How do you want to live your life?